Omni Edition Sports presents from Garden City High School in Garden City, Michigan, Cougar basketball. Tonight, the Garden City Cougars take on the Robichaud Bulldogs. It's coming home 2016. Hi, everybody. Dan York along with Phil Henry as we get ready to bring you our first boys basketball game of 2015-2016. And Phil Henry, a big game for Garden City because a win tonight would give them a second-place tie with Robichaud, potentially a first-place tie, depending on what Dearborn does tonight.
Absolutely. This is a big game in the red division for the Western Wayne Athletic Conference. You know, these two teams met not too long ago, and it was a high-scoring affair, and Dearborn took it home, on the home court by 9 points. So tonight, Pummel has a big surprise to kind of turn the tables on the Bulldogs.
Well, this is an athletic Garden City basketball team. They're not very tall. They do like to shoot the basketball, and they hope to press and pressure this Robichaud basketball team here tonight. 3 guys in double digits, actually 4 guys in double digits for Robichaud against Garden City in the game at Robichaud. One of those guys is gone, but still a very good Robichaud basketball team.
Absolutely. You're going to look at Shannon Woods tonight, and then we've got a couple of other guys, Weatherby, and then the other guy that you're going to bring up. They're going to be the big 3 for the Bulldogs. And, of course, Garden City's going to counter with their big 3, Tinsley, Moyer, and Bakarian. So it's going to be a battle of the big 3s. So it's going to be the bench that's really going to tell tonight's story, and rebounding, the basics.
Right. If Garden City's going to press, then it's going to matter as to how good a shape these kids are in here tonight. And 2 of Garden City's players, part of the coming home ceremonies, being Vinny Bakarian and Brendan Grace. So a big game here tonight.
Brendan Grace is a key name to keep an eye on. Injured himself early in the year. He's just getting back up to playing shape, Dan. He could be the X factor tonight for Coach Pummel, on the home court here for homecoming.
Tough loss for Garden City against the Advanced Technological Academy this week, a charter school in Dearborn. Garden City played pretty well, a very entertaining basketball game, but ATA came out on top of that one. Robichaud's last basketball game, 31-21 against Fordson. Obviously, Fordson holding on to the basketball as much as they could that night.
Yeah, that's one way of slowing down a high-powered offense, like what Robichaud brings to the table, is to keep the ball away from. That whole second period, they had no points scored by either team. So I don't think it's going to be quite that ugly tonight. This looks like a fast-paced, really fun, exciting basketball game for coming home Friday night, Garden City, Michigan.
All right, we'll see how it goes. It's the Cougars. It's the Bulldogs. Garden City versus Robichaud. It's coming home 2016. You're watching Omni Edition Sports. This is GC TV.
So you want to watch GCTV? There are lots of ways to enjoy all of the great programming on GCTV. From your television, we're channel 12 on Comcast, 18 on WOW, and 99 on AT&T Uverse. Online, you can watch live 24/7 on Ustream at gardencitymi.org/GCTV. There you can also find a link to our GCTV Videos YouTube channel, where you can watch all of our content in HD from any device, smart TV, smartphone, or tablet. You can get your GCTV fix on the go, at home, and around the world. Thanks for watching GCTV, whichever way you do.
Back at Garden City High School as the Cougars get ready to take on the Robichaud Bulldogs. The starting lineups being introduced by Kevin Kramus. We'll check those starting lineups quickly. For the Bulldogs, it'll be senior Jalen Weatherby along with senior D'Angelo Douglas. And the juniors will be Shannon Wood, Kenvin Simpson, and Jalen Favors. Deshaun Wesley, who averages 17 points a game for this Bulldog team, not in the starting lineup for tonight. For Garden City right now, as you see them introduced, it'll be Vinny Bakarian, Robbie Moyers, Jake Sadowski, Denzel Tinsley, and Brendan Grace for the Cougars. 4 seniors and a junior, Phil Henry. And the place is rocking here at Garden City High School.
Yes, we're taking our life in our hands, Stan. We're up here with the Cougar Crazies, the very highest spot in the whole stadium. and they're on their feet. You know, they sense something special tonight, Dan. They can feel it. It's coming home time, and right now the starting lineups are being announced. You can start to feel the enthusiasm building up. There's our standings right there. That's what's at stake. A big battle in the Western Wayne Red Division right there between 4 teams.
That's right. As you see, Robichaud, Dearborn tied for first place in the conference. Garden City and Annapolis both at 4 and 3. So a win by Garden City tonight over Robichaud would at least give them a tie for second place in the conference, potentially first place, depending on what the Dearborn Pioneers do here tonight. So an important game for this Garden City basketball team. As we said, Ron Pummel, the head coach of this team, plans to press right out of the gate against Robichaud.
Well, and when you're drawing up your schedule and looking at it as the preseason is unfolding, Dan, you circle those games at home as being the games that you need to win to take care of business. So right now tonight, though, usually Garden City's at a disadvantage height-wise. This is the tallest player right now, 6'5" for the Bulldogs. Other than that, they're fairly even height-wise, Dan, so it's going to be a very competitive ball game as we're getting underway.
And Weatherby, the senior, handles the basketball for Robichaud. He tries to make his move around Bakarian. Baseline shot, and in and out for D'Angelo Lewis. Robbie Moyers. Grace, who injured himself earlier in the year, just back in the lineup the last couple of games, and there's a 3 right out of the chute for Robbie Moyers to put the Cougars on top.
Well, you like to see that right off the bat, Dan, you know, just really hitting that first big 3 as the press is on right now for the Cougars on the defensive side of things. They're up 3-0 in the first.
That's 24 triples for Robbie Moyers this season. Lewis knocked away, picks it up. Baseline is Weatherby. Off the iron, putback doesn't go. Garden City with the rebound and Vinny Bakarian. Vinny bounce pass into the corner. This is Grace. They all like to shoot the 3-pointer on this Cougar basketball team. Grace in a little bit of trouble. And Jake Sadowski will handle it. Jake, a junior.
Right now the Cougars need to be happy with the ball movement, Dan, as they're looking for that big shot.
Grace has it stolen away by Lewis. Lewis with the lead pass beyond Weatherby, and it'll be Garden City's basketball.
Nice job by Sadowski getting in the passing lane right there and forcing just a last-second lob pass by Lewis as he looked like he was going to go for an easy 2. And they dodged a bullet, Dan. It's 3-0 still with the Cougars in front.
This is Tinsley. And that one is deflected out of bounds. It'll stay Garden City's basketball. Only 1 bucket here in 2 minutes of basketball.
But if you're Ron Pummel, you're going to like the way things are unfolding right now. The press is, in play, but the offense is really looking crisp right now. Nice passing, looking for that extra pass to get a man open for a good shot.
Grace, spin move off the glass, too hard. Tinsley with the rebound. Tinsley can't get it to fall. Rebound Robichaud. Garden City with a couple of opportunities there. They could not capitalize.
Yeah, I think capitalize is the key word, Dan. You must capitalize in those situations.
And there hasn't been much pressure, by the way, from Garden City as Robichaud brings it up the floor. So possibly Ron Pummel waiting to see how this thing evolves first. Thought about the 3 was Lewis. He takes it from the free throw line. It is short. He gets it back, though. Shannon Woods for 3, and he buries it. So Shannon Woods, who had 4 triples against Garden City at Robichaud, puts the Bulldogs on the board.
He is one of the big scoring 3 for the Jermaine Carter-led Bulldogs.
Moyers to Sadowski, the junior. Tinsley bounce pass into Grace. Grace left side. Brendan Grace with a left-hander.
Right now, Grace looks as so far he's established himself on the inside. He missed earlier on the last possession, but this one right here, really nice spin move and finished with the left hand, Dan. Excellent.
And Garden City applying a little bit of pressure. That trip down and thrown away right through the hands of Simpson. And another turnover for the Bulldogs. Pressure now from Robichaud. Bakarian still doesn't have any help, and he is fouled. No, Garden City called timeout. So Ron Pummel recognizing that Vinny Bakarian was in a little bit of trouble. Called the timeout there.
What happened, that was a trap situation that the Bulldogs put on, where they trapped just over the half-court line. They let the Cougars get there, and then they came out deep on them and trapped them right there at the half-court line, and Coach Pummel has to call timeout and readjust himself.
5 timeouts in high school basketball, and Ron Pummel uses one of those. As you see the Cougar huddle in their bright orange with the camo on their warm-ups. There's Ron Pummel, graduated a year after I did from Garden City West, so don't hold that against him.
Got this team playing very well. They're 7-6 on the year, and of course 4-3 in the conference, and we just talked about that 4-team battle for first place. Doing a real great job this year is Ron Pummel.
He had an amazing shot in high school. He had one of the softest shots you'd ever seen. Moyers on the dribble. Still pressure from Robichaud. Garden City needs to get a little more aggressive offensively. Moyers. Weatherby all over him, and it goes! Robbie Moyers with his 5th point of the night gives Garden City a 2-point lead.
Well, that was dribble penetration all the way by Moyers as he put the ball on the floor and then did a spin move, a nice spin move, buried the defender and then put it up and in.
And Robichaud calls timeout with concerns about getting the ball over in time to avoid the 10-second call.
Well, Coach Pummel had told you earlier today, Dan, that he was going to come with the full court pressure. This is more like 3/4 court pressure right now. And so he might deepen that as the game goes on, or maybe he's going to be happy with that. But that was definitely giving the Bulldogs here trouble, and a timeout had to be taken.
So 2 timeouts used in the first 5 minutes of this basketball game. Both teams may regret that. Well, not regret it, but it may cost them later on.
You're absolutely right, Dan. But then again, it's early on right now, and this is an ultimate chess match here.
So Lewis does get it over half court. Lob into the paint, and it goes off of the Cougars. Simpson was the intended receiver, but it was knocked away before he got a hand on it.
Well, that was a nice job by Moyers. Robbie Moyers, as he got into that passing lane and broke it up. You see he's shaking his fingers off there, rubbing them up a little bit. Took the basketball right off the fingers. I'm sure he'll be all right.
Wesley with the dribble. Did not start, but has checked in. Grace with a great defensive play. Sadowski pulls it back out a little bit. Robbie Moyers. No substitution so far for Garden City, but Wesley into the game for the Bulldogs. Grace in the paint. Grace left hand, doesn't get the roll. Rebound Robichaud and Wesley.
Still like that Brandon Grace. He's 1 out of 3 there inside the paint with some nice moves. So if he can just start getting a couple to fall, he could have a big night, Dan.
Lewis through traffic, may have been fouled by Sadowski. And he was, so that's the first foul for Garden City. First foul of the night, as a matter of fact. And that'll send D'Angelo Lewis to the line. He's averaging 10 points a game for this Robichaud basketball team, located about 4 miles away, I think. Don't hold me to it.
Let me get my GPS out on that.
Cameron Walter now comes into the game for Garden City. And I believe Jelante Starks came in for Robichaud. (7-4) Cougars on top, make it 7-5. And backcourt pressure now by Robichaud. Tinsley, double teamed, is fouled by either 2 or 3. I think it's dealer's choice.
Yep,
and it'll be number 3, Starks.
Going to call it on Starks right there, as now they're deepening their trap, and they're trapping the Cougars on the on their side of the midline.
Moyers finds a hole, but can't get it all the way to the glass, but it does go off of Simpson out of bounds. Right inside and off the glass, doesn't fall for Cameron Walter. He muscled it, but didn't get it to drop. Baseline, through traffic, knocked away by the Cougars. Cougars with an opportunity here with Robichaud 2 behind. Bakarian. Robbie Moyers, the senior guard. Nice ball handling there. Bakarian thought about it. Moyers gets it back. He's got Sadowski open on the other wing. This is Bakarian again. Good ball movement right here by Garden City. Bakarian for 3. Off the iron. Rebound Robichaud.
Quick to pull the trigger on that one, Dan. Didn't have anybody underneath, did the Cougars.
No basket. I believe the foul was on the floor, so Wesley will not get a chance to shoot. I think Sadowski picked up his second. He did. 2 on Garden City, so out of bounds for Robichaud. Bulldog players lining up looking for the foul and didn't get it. So
right
Poole,
here,
number 11, into the game.
And you saw the hack right there by Sadowski, as that one's going to get called every time, Dan. The guy goes by you right there. Don't reach out into the breadbasket area.
But it saved us 2 points because they didn't shoot.
So you're saying that? So Dan calls that a good foul.
Knocked away by Tinsley, loose ball. Here's the battle. Cameron Walter goes up, and Cameron Walter is mugged. Yeah. So he will shoot 2 as Simpson picks up his first.
Simpson, Kenvin Simpson, he's 6'5", Dan. That was the 2 big man battle right there, the classic. You know, Walter did a really nice job going up, went up strong, and Simpson really blasted him. So he's going to shoot 2.
Walter averaging 5.5 points a game. Misses the front end.
So far, these teams are showing themselves to be evenly matched, Dan. This is very key. These free throws are very important.
Walter 31 of 58 from the free throw line this season. And he splits the pair.
There we go.
Loose ball. Here come the Cougars. Moyers has a man with him. It's knocked out of bounds by Wesley, but Garden City will keep possession.
Seen a great job by the all-hands team on both sides, Dan, as they both have made some spectacular plays, you know, to disrupt some easy baskets. Both defensive, getting their hands in the last second. Bakarian for 3.
Vinny Bakarian gets it to fall. He's got 24 on the season. Poole feeds it up top to Weatherby. 1 minute remaining in the quarter. Bounce pass. Put back, falls for Wesley.
Wesley was in a perfect position. The ball came right back to him, right back up and in. Easy 2.
Almost knocked away. Bakarian through the paint, bounces it away. It's kicked out of bounds by the Bulldogs. 35 seconds remaining.
Desir Poole coming in.
Right into Bakarian. Bakarian off the glass, can't get it to fall. Here comes Robichaud. Wesley left side, gets it to fall and draws the foul. So 4 points for Wesley. He'll try to make it 5.
It was a nice job there by Tony Van Dorn, but he just moved his feet at the last second. He got a nice position and was giving Wesley some fits, but then he got around him and he reached in and got his foul.
So count that 1 for Wesley. He's got 5 on the night. Grace will come back in for Garden City. 27.3 seconds remaining in this one, in this quarter rather. We joked about that Robichaud score against Fordson the other day. This isn't a whole lot better tonight. And a foul in the paint, I believe, on Starks.
Well, this has been a well-played basketball game. The fouls that have been committed have been those good fouls, Dan, that we like to talk about. But each time both teams had breaks, 2-on-1 breaks, and a defender came in and got his hand in as Grace hits a nice shot on the inside for his 4 points in the first quarter.
And the Cougars lead at 13-10. Robichaud's going to want to take the last shot. Just inside the three-point arc. That one goes off the iron, loose ball. Time will run out, and Garden City will hold on to their 13-10 lead here in the quarter.
A nice job, a nice quarter right there. If you're Ron Pummel, you got to like a lot of things that were happening there. The defense was real quick to react. Nobody's really in serious foul trouble, and they played a really nice, hit some big shots. So,
as always, when we get the opportunity here on Omni Edition Sports and GCTV, we like to thank everybody at Incorporate Graphics just across the street from Garden City High School. Jim Neve, who the owner and operator, provides all of the apparel free to the volunteers for Omni Edition Sports and GCTV. They have got some great Cougar apparel. They'll take care of your needs for your upcoming softball season. Need those jerseys or t-shirts or caps, whatever you need, they'll take care of you right across the street. Jim Neve and our friends at Incorporate Graphics, we cannot thank them enough, and we talk about it all the time, the fact that that is a family in Garden City that goes 3 generations deep.
yeah, excellent. And there's sometimes, Dan, there's people out there that's rolling with a lot of cash and they don't have any ideas. Have no fear. Jim will create something for you.
You'll find a way to lighten your wallet, huh? And it's funny, in the on the scorer's table, and I never thought of that while we were doing the game before, but there is a Cougar logo on the scorer's table that Jim Neve designed when he was in high school for me.
Well, one of our AC-Doocy cameramen is going to pick that right up, Dan. I can
Sometime
tell you that
before
right
the end
now.
of the game, huh?
That's right.
Bakarian baseline, high pass. Grace. Garden City looking for that three-point opportunity, but Walter open underneath, goes baseline, corner to Bakarian, in and out for Vinny. And Grace has it knocked away from him by Poole. Bakarian almost made it another triple tonight.
Yeah, that home rim is supposed to be a little bit kinder than it was right there. Nice drive by Weatherby as he gets his first 2 of the game.
He had 13 against Garden City at their place. Into the corner is Grace. A little too hard. Loose ball, Garden City saves it. Moyers lobs it into Walter. Cameron Walter, no foul called there as Woods comes up with a block.
That was a big-time battle underneath. Nice passing right on in, and just a little too deep for Walters. He just couldn't handle it.
Poole gives it off. Up and hard and in for Higgins. Jordan Higgins into the basketball game. Gives Robichaud a 14-13 lead. Their first lead of the night. Bakarian will try to take it back for Garden City. 2 balls in and out for Bakarian. 2 3-pointers in a row. Weatherby gets it to fall. Weatherby with 4. All of a sudden, Robichaud's up by 3, and Ron Pummel will take a timeout.
Well, nothing wrong with that offensive possession down there. Bakarian was wide open. He had the range the last time as it rimmed all out of there, and 2 in a row like that. So Vinny just couldn't find any luck with the home rim right there. But
there you see that Cougar I'm talking about on the left side as you look at John Fleming, the scorekeeper for Garden City, and Cindy Phillips, who's running the clock, and Kevin Kramus is doing the public address announcing here tonight at the scorer's table.
Well, we'll have to compare Cougars. You got that one, and then we got the big mural on the wall, and then we got an old one there, a couple of Garden City Cougars. Battle of Cougars.
Got all kinds of artwork in this gym, and the big old Cougar paw at center court of the gymnasium.
Yep, we're going to get on Twitter. Cast your votes on Twitter. And then right there, the classic logo of all time, On the
hidden
addition
behind
television.
the basket. Don't tell anybody.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a crack staff you got down there on cameras, Dan. They're finding them all.
We got a big crew here tonight. We want to thank them all. Noah Piggott, Jeff Sorensen, and Brett George, who's been here since the mid-'80s, running camera today, and we'll acknowledge everybody throughout the evening.
It's always a marvel, Dan. I come to do these games. I'm so happy to come up here and just you always have a first-class crew doing everything. They're just really doing a great job.
Well, and if you watch a lot of our games, you might get sick and tired of hearing us fawn over these guys, but these guys are amazing. Almost every one of them's a volunteer, and they're here to help, and they do an amazing job, second to none in this area. Fired inside to Walter. Walter took his time, still couldn't get it, but did get the rebound. Hands it to Grace in traffic. Grace can't get the bunny to go. Tinsley puts it back. Tinsley doesn't get it to fall, but he'll shoot two.
Wow, what an exchange down there. The big guys all took a shot at it right there, and I think it's one of those things where they just really have to settle down when they're down in that basket area. They've got a height advantage down in there, and they just need to settle down and finish those shots off, Dan. They're going to come back to haunt them if they don't.
Tinsley with his first point of the evening. In and out for the second one. Loose ball. Tinsley comes up with the rebound and makes it a three-point play. So Denzel Tinsley with the rebound after his own missed free throw gives him 3 for the night, and Garden City has tied this one up.
Nice hustle play right there by Tinsley. This has been a great play game by Garden City right now. This is going to be a great battle as this one unfolds. A nice easy bunny right there for Jasir Poole. But this is going to be just as well played, Dan. A crisp game and lots of action.
Bakarian off the rim. Tinsley with another rebound, and he is fouled on the floor. So Tinsley, who I believe leads Garden City in rebounds, is fouled by Poole.
And calling that foul is Vince Lewis. He's assisted down there by Terry Brinston and Norm Gazalka. Norm, he says, been around for a long time.
Norm's been around a little bit.
Officials. So they got a nice crew tonight calling this game, and they're letting them play, Dan. I would say at this point they are letting them play.
Grace through a double team. Gives it to Walter, who had enough trouble of his own. I don't think he wanted it. Tinsley tries to keep it in bounds, and he falls out of bounds. Walter was in just as much traffic there. Couldn't do much with it.
Well, you like his strength down there. The big man, you know, he's really battling. He's a sophomore, and he's going to do nothing but get better, you know, in the paint situations like that.
Wesley on the dribble. 4 minutes, approaching 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the half. Off the glass, and it falls there for Favors, his first bucket of the evening. A 4-point lead now for Robichaud. Grace looking at Walter underneath. Shovels it in. Walter in amongst the trees, and Cameron Walter comes up with his 3rd point of the evening.
Very important finish right there for Walter as he looked like a level shot over his head, you know, but it didn't distract him at all, and he used his body and his strength to finish that one off. Nice play by Walter.
Off the glass and in for Wesley. Give Wesley 7. He probably leads everybody here tonight. Tinsley, not a lot of substituting going on for Garden City. Robichaud mixing it up. Bakarian fires it into Walter. Walter waits for his time, gets it to fall, and he'll shoot one.
Nice job right there. Once again, a great play to go back to him, showing confidence in him, and he's really starting to feel it down there, Dan. Walter did a real nice job right there. As you see, that was the finish right there, and we saw it on the replay. You know, just went in strong, and he's starting to get that confidence. You can see it building as he's really going up there to finish that basket, not worrying about anybody around him, not hearing those proverbial footsteps, just keeping his eye on the prize.
Matuzak in for Garden City. Starks in for Robichaud. There might have been another substitution because Bakarian just sat down, as that one doesn't go for Walter. Hard pass in the middle, knocked away by Walter. Wesley lobs it up to D'Angelo Lewis. The senior one-on-one with Moyers. And it goes off of Robichaud, out of bounds.
And those tough plays, the officials were looking at each other. You like to see teamwork amongst officials, and that was a classic case of it. Neither one had a good angle. Goes Garden City.
This is Matuzak who lobs it up. Grace gets control. A lot of pressure though. Grace will take it. No!
Oh!
And an offensive foul on Grace. I think he wanted to give it to Matuzak, but that didn't work out.
Yeah, I don't know that Brandon Grace is quite the guy you want dribbling down the paint right there as your playmaker, but you could see what he was doing, and he was a big load coming in as he got airborne and took the defender down with him. I bet that defender thinks twice before he gets in front of number 32 again.
And Jalen Weatherby back in and dribbling the basketball for Robichaud.
Goes a big foul on Brandon Grace.
Favors. This is a three, and off the high glass and goes for Jashawn Wesley. He's got double digits. That one is off the glass, but I don't think it will count. Foul was before the shot.
Well, there was a classic shot right there, Dan, off the glass. No one uses the glass anymore.
Especially not that high.
You know, exactly. But you know what? That is a really great shot right there to use that glass. You're going to have a lot of success, or you get your players in a position where they can rebound. Your teammates can get a little bit better position to rebound. The ball's going to fall closer to right underneath the basket as opposed to kicking out.
So Garden City will shoot the bonus the rest of the half. And that one does not go for Moyers.
Those are the kind of shots that will come back and haunt you. One-on-one at the line right now, Dan, and you got to sink that one.
So Wesley, the senior, who did not start, averaging 17 points a game. Thinks about the three, off the bracket. Rebound Robichaud.
And Moyers had that one in his hands practically, and then three of the Robichaud players just body slammed him, took the ball right away from him.
Starks has his pocket pick, loose ball on the floor. It is a jump ball call. And Robichaud possession. I didn't know if Robichaud had called timeout. There you see the battle underneath. And the Robichaud coach did try to call timeout, but the jump ball was called before that.
Well, we're in a physical ball game, and it's a place like that you really can start, imposing your will on the other team, Dan. And I liked what Matuzak did. He really dove on the Robichaud player. And then, of course, coming in at the last second was Cameron Walter to get his hand on it. Great job right there.
Lockhart into the game for Robichaud with just under 2 minutes remaining in the half. Weatherby takes it in and is fouled, and he'll get to shoot two. So Weatherby already has 4, and he'll try to make that 6. As Matuzak picks up his first.
And that was another hard foul. It's so important that these players, they feel that right there, and that's sometimes the result of a hard fall right there, Dan, where you're just a little bit off, a little bit shaky from it, and the ball just doesn't get out of your hand right, and it rolls around and it falls away.
Bakarian back in for Garden City for the remaining minute 41. And Weatherby drains it. Garden City gets it over half court. Bakarian got a man on the wing, and it's rolled in by Sadowski. His first bucket of the evening gets Garden City within 4.
That was a reverse right-hander with a spritzer thrown in. Nice one off the glass for Sadowski.
Almost stolen away by Bakarian. Wesley takes it up. Can't do anything with it. Sadowski with the rebound. Robbie Moyers loses the handle. Fast break for Weatherby. Weatherby gets the roll.
Nice job by Weatherby right there. That ball was played real perfectly on the defensive side by the Cougars, but Weatherby pulled up short.
7 this quarter for Weatherby as you see Tinsley miss the 3. Garden City down by 6 now. You don't want to go down. You don't want to go to the locker room down by 8 for sure. Wesley with Bakarian guarding him. Wesley around the pick. Into the game is Lockhart, who can't get it to go. Putback doesn't go. Tinsley with the rebound, but throws it away. He was double teamed, tried to get it to Walter, and he threw it out of his reach. And Robichaud gets it back with 17.7 remaining. Obviously setting up for the last shot. Woods into the corner. In and out. And Garden City will go to the locker room down by 6. 28-22. Robichaud on top. Pretty good first half of basketball, Phil.
Absolutely. It was a great first half of basketball. There was a couple of times that the ball rimmed out for the Cougars on that end, and then you've got to hit those big free throws. When you got a free
2 from
throw,
Bakarian. If they had gone, that would have been a big deal for Garden City.
And then remember Brandon Grace, got down, got open shot, and I think he was hearing footsteps, and then of course Walter had got in their penetration too, missed a basket in there. So this was, to me, a very evenly played first half. This second half is going to be some kind of basketball game.
All right, we'll be back with second half action and first half stats. 28-22 the score, Robichaud on top. You're watching Omnidition Sports. This is GCTV. That's why we're in more communities than just Garden City.
Here comes the runner to the plate. And the ball is loose and she's saved. Shot off the post. Another shot. That one's in. Hubs to pass. Tosses it up. In the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Garden City. Through traffic. Veriburgos for 3. Drains it. Hands off, in an open field, and he's going to score just like that.
Wow. Getting ready for second half action here at Garden City High School as the Cougars trail the Robichaud Bulldogs by 6, 28-22. So a nice run by Robichaud to end the first half that put Garden City down by 6.
They took the lead, Dan, at 14-13 and really never looked back. And so Garden City now has to weather that as Weatherby starts right out with 2.
Yeah, Weatherby on the runner. Give him 9 for the day. This is Grace on the dribble. Tinsley right side, gets it to fall. Important basket for Garden City to make sure they answer immediately to Robichaud.
Well, Tinsley's been rather quiet too, Dan, and he's done a great job on the rebounding end, but he needs to get scoring for Pummel's team and the Cougars to really make this a run.
Denzel had a rough game against ATA on Tuesday as you see the fadeaway roll in and out. And Garden City pulls it down. But they need Tinsley because he is a big part of this offense. Sadowski to Grace. Grace for three. Short. Rebound Bakarian. Robbie Moyers. Robbie Moyers off the iron, doesn't go. So Garden City could use a stop right here. Down by 6.
Well, we haven't seen that press that Coach Pummel talked about. We saw little bits and pieces of it there in the first half, Dan, but I think he backed off of it. He saw something he didn't like, Coach Pummel did, and he backed off right now, so he wants to play him just a half-court basketball game.
That does not go for Simpson. Rebound Garden City. Robichaud back quickly, though, on D. Bakarian. Grace left side. Grace on the runner, off the high glass. There's using the glass again, Phil.
I love that glass shot, Dan. I think that's a great shot. You know, you just don't see it that often. You've just got I think, a higher percentage than when you're just going for the basket all the time.
Through the paint, off the glass, in for Simpson.
Well,
and if my stats are right, that's his first basket of the night.
Yeah, and Simpson, you know, he's the 6'5" guy down there in the middle for Dearborn Heights. You don't want to get him on track here.
And a foul underneath on Garden City.
That first half, Dan, both teams had balanced scoring. You know, lots of guys handling the basketball, getting their shots off and sinking their shots. That bodes well for the second half right here in this hotly contested game. Second place on the line tonight. Cougars and Robichaud, the Bulldogs, going at each other. Both 4-3 in the conference. Excuse me, 4-3 Cougars, 5-2 Robichaud.
From the corner, won't go for Simpson. Rebound Garden City. Moyers through traffic. Tinsley thought about it. Baseline. Tinsley off the glass, gets it to roll. Denzel Tinsley with 4 points in the quarter. Garden City back within 4.
That type of move right there, when Tinsley puts the ball on the floor like that, Dan, and goes to the rim with such confidence, he can literally take over a ball game all by himself.
Into the corner. Robichaud looking for the shot. Woods thinks that's it, off the iron. Rebound Robichaud, put back off the glass for Simpson. So give Simpson 4 this quarter. Back to a 6-point lead for Robichaud. Grace traveled, no call. Throws it off the glass and a jump ball call. It'll be Garden City's possession. Grace took a couple of monster steps.
Yeah, nice job right there. He brought the ball in, though, from his waist, Dan. That's going to give you trouble, especially when you're in the middle like that. You're going to see it right here. He picks it up right there, and he picked it up, and he had it right just below his midsection. That's not going to get you too far when you're in this paint area like that.
So referee having a conversation with Favors and possibly Grace as they try to position. Bakarian. Grace with the fake. Tinsley through the paint. Tinsley has it stripped away. Tinsley battling on the floor. Tinsley with the basketball. And if it's another jump ball call, it goes back to Robichaud.
I like Tinsley when the dribble penetration of Tinsley coming down the lane like that. He just needs a partner on either side of him, you know, to dish off to.
Robichaud brings it up. The senior Lewis. 10 points a game. He's only got 2 in this one. Into the paint, knocked away by Garden City and Moyers. Robbie Moyers tries to spin away. And Robichaud picks his pocket, and I think Robbie's going to get called for a foul.
I think that was a reach-in foul right there. It's either going to be Moyers or Tinsley. That was my second choice, was Tinsley. He reached
so the first
in.
one for Denzel. And 2 on Garden City in the half.
That's that classic foul right there, Dan. When you got the ball, it's a turnover, and the other team's moving up with a full head of steam, and you want to reach in after the player's by you. Usually an official's going to see some action there and call it.
Weatherby. Lewis. Garden City rather stoic on defense. Everybody's holding their ground. Grace with a steal. Grace with a spin move. Another spin move. Left-hander gets it to go. Brandon Grace couldn't shake him the first time. Gave him the same move and left-handed it off the glass.
Well, you know what? I don't know that we've seen Michael Jordan do like that. A double spin move. Unbelievable. Brandon Grace leaves them gasping.
Garden City back within 4. Stolen away by Weatherby. Weatherby coast to coast. Give Weatherby 4 this half.
That's what Pummel does not want. Coach Pummel does not want to get into a running game with the Bulldogs right now. Keep it slow, keep the ball on there, keep moving it around, look for some nice shots.
Moyers, Grace for 3. Air ball, loose ball, let's see. I don't know.
Not sure. Cougar ball.
Kevin says Cougars ball. I didn't see the official's signal.
That was Vince Lewis right down there on the baseline. Here's a look at it right here, and
yeah, that's the right call.
Vince Lewis kind of waved his hand up. He was heading, calling it Cougar ball Robichaud ball, but then changed it.
Kicked out, jump shot, rolls off the rim. Weatherby slows it up, wants to move Favors into position. Weatherby wants to be down in the corner. Lewis between 2 men. Rebound Robichaud. Put up and in for Starks. First bucket of the night for Starks. Garden City down by 8 now. Tinsley takes it in. Can't convert. Walter. No foul call there.
It's a nice job of D'Angelo Lewis to try and get the call on Walter as he started dribbling forward, then hesitated for a second. Almost got Walter on the reach-in.
Weatherby with the extended dribble. Lewis. .110 remaining in the quarter. Very fast quarter. Hardly any whistles. Through the paint. Doesn't fall. Walter with a rebound, but he lost the handle. A scrum underneath. Jump ball is the call, and Garden City's possession.
Tinsley gets on the floor with vengeance, and they had the Cougar in a camel clutch down there.
There you
right
see
here,
the battle.
he's coming in right there. He puts it around him, and Norm Gasalka jumps in and says that ball is a jump ball.
So break for Garden City. I'm sure they'd like to pull it within 6 here. Going to have to make their move, though, at some point. Try to cut this down to a 2 or 4 point game. Tony Van Dorn into the game now for Garden City.
Vinny Bakarian's been really quiet. He hit that first three-pointer.
From the outside, a triple for Jake Sadowski. First 3 for the Cougars this half. They pull within 5.
Big hit right there by Sadowski. We're just looking for some offense. I'm looking over my scorecard, Dan. I was looking for some offense. We hadn't heard from Vinny Bakarian in a while. And then, of course, Robbie Moyers has been really quiet. He's got 5 points on the night. And just as I was looking, Sadowski hits that big 3. So Cougars needing some scoring and come up with a big 3 to pull it within 5.
So Wesley on the floor now for Robichaud, along with Simpson, Starks, Lewis. 6 seconds. Wesley needs to make his move on Van Doren. Shoots the 3 off the iron. And Robichaud misses an opportunity to pull a little farther ahead there. And the Cougars trail by 5 as we head to the 4th quarter.
Well, this 4th quarter promises to be, a real barn burner, especially if maybe Pummel gets the full court press out like what he was talking about coming out this game with. He might be keeping that in his back pocket for a time like this.
Yeah, well, as they say, there's no time like the present.
That's right, absolutely.
We always want to thank Lori and everybody over at Sports Venue. They are the nourishment provider, we'll call them, for Omnivision Sports and GCTV, but they provide food for the volunteers here at Omnivision Sports. Give the guys pizza and different things, and we thank them so much. Located on Maplewood and Middle Belt, they hold all kinds of charity events and fundraisers at the Sports Venue, and it is a great place to go. Great food, have a good time, and make sure you tell Matt and Lori that you heard about them on Omnivision Sports, GCTV.
Well, absolutely. Trivia nights going on over there. I mean, sometimes you don't know the name of the place because there's so much going on there, Dan. You just drive by and say, my gosh, look at this place is really happening. And then you go, oh, yeah, that's the Sports Venue.
So a 5-point game. Garden City needs a stop and a conversion right here.
It's all on the line now, Dan. We're in the 4th quarter. This has been a really well-played basketball game. The Cougars now need to have their big guys step up a little bit here in the 4th quarter, and the D needs to really come to the forefront also.
Lewis, Wesley. Garden City has really been disciplined on defense today. That one will go for Wesley. But Garden City has held their ground on defense all night. So for Sadowski, that's his 3rd. And Wesley, the chance to make it a 3-point play. In and out, loose ball. Van Doren, quick outlet there to Moyers. Moyers on the fast break. Moyers stay left side. Moyers is fouled.
Looks like it's going to go on Weatherby. It'll be his first as he got the reach in. Moyers showing really great speed, hustling down after he picked up that rebound.
And Robbie will shoot 2. That is only the first foul on Robichaud in the half. So Moyers will go to the stripe and gets that one to go.
Robbie with a quiet 6 points on the evening. Had 5 early on in the 1st quarter, Dan. Then he went silent, as did Vinny Bakarian. So right now, the big guns for Garden City need to step up, and that's a nice 2 free throws right there.
Back to a 5-point game. From the corner, does not go. Robichaud rebound, though. Fired in Weatherby all by himself. Doesn't get the bounce. Putback doesn't go for Simpson. It's still Robichaud's ball, but Garden City dodged the bullet twice there.
Absolutely, they did. As Simpson did a nice job, but wide open was Weatherby. I mean, he could have set up a tent over there and the campfire, waiting for that one to come in. Missed it. Big guy got the rebound, and he went back up with it, and he couldn't find the bottom of the basket either. So the Cougars dodged the bullet, so this is where they need a turnover.
Grace and Tinsley back into the game for Garden City. Almost over the hands of Lewis. Loose ball. And Robichaud, even though they have missed 3 times, they've kept the basketball. Baseline is Weatherby. Over the rim, rebound Tinsley. Moyers, Robbie Moyers through the paint. Robbie Moyers gets the roll. Big bucket for Moyers. He's got 4 this quarter. Garden City within 3.
Nice job by Moyers. He's really about the fastest guy on the court out there, Dan. Took that one, went coast to coast with it with a lot of confidence, and finished with the left hand after making those 2 clutch free throws the last time down.
Closest Garden City has been all half. Weatherby Bounce pass in, off the high glass, doesn't go. Loose ball, thrown off of Grace, nope. Simpson had stepped out of bounds.
Simpson's really starting to break loose. If you notice, he's starting to control the middle of the game, in the middle of the court down to there, and he's got 4 buckets, or 4 points here in the second half game. He's starting to become a force. Garden City needs to put a big body on him and rough him up just a little bit.
Big trip down for the Cougars. They trail by 3. 5 minutes and 48 seconds remaining, and Ron Pummel will call timeout.
This is where you bring in one of the Hanson brothers to put on
putting on the foil.
Simpson down there. You know, you got to make him pay now. He's starting to get confidence. His long arms are starting to keep some balls alive, Dan, and he's really been a force there and on the defensive and offensive side for the Bulldogs.
Want to take this opportunity while we have it to thank all of the volunteers and everybody here tonight producing our game for Omni Edition Sports and GCTV. Of course, you can see it on GCTV on cable, but don't forget it's in high def on YouTube. Go to GCTV videos or just go to the city's website. Follow all of the links. But in the truck tonight, I want to thank Alex Arnaud, a new intern we have from Specs, Colton Henderson, who I think is handling the graphics tonight. Jason Merrow is our associate producer, and Christian Gibbons is in the truck as our producer-director. We want to thank Zach King, Furby, and Evan Chapman, who are here earlier helping with the setup. And our camera people, there you see Jeff Sorensen. There is Noah Piggott. And earlier you saw Brett George, who is the senior reigning member of Omni Edition Sports and GCTV, once Harold Larson retired. So Garden City down by 3. Moyers has it stripped away. Tough break. Coast to coast. Doesn't go! Big break for Garden City. Loose ball. Robichaud tries to get control. And number 2, Wesley, just turned his head away from the play. Doesn't go, no call. Let's see. And maybe Tinsley on the foul.
Bodies were flying on those 2 possessions right there. There's the drive to the hoop. There's the big play, and that was pushed out of bounds there. I think that's what they're going to get him. He really used his body in a great way to push him out of bounds. Right in front of Vince Lewis, though. He calls the foul on number 23, Tinsley, his 2nd of the game.
Still only 4 on Garden City, although Robichaud only has 1. And Grace and Shannon Woods mixing it up at the top of the key.
Well, that replay showed you the physicalness of this game. It's been like that the whole game from start to finish. These 2 teams are really throwing their weight around.
Underneath, Robichaud has had trouble handling the basketball underneath. There's a triple try. Doesn't go. Rebound, Robbie Moyers. Ahead to Sadowski. Sadowski right hand and it's in. Jake Sadowski with his 5th point this half. 7th point of the game. Garden City within 1.
Right there, the superior speed of Robbie Moyer got that going. Sadowski had a few steps on everybody, and with Moyer, he is so quick with that basketball.
Tinsley there defensively. Tinsley wanted the basketball, but it'll be Robichaud, but a great job by Tinsley on the block.
Right there, bodies are really going up in there, fighting for every basketball. Every possession is so important right now.
This is Wesley. One-on-one with Moyers. Too high, out of bounds! Garden City's ball with 4:27 remaining.
Timeout called down there by Dearborn Heights. But that, you see plays like that, Dan, a lot of times they can be product of physical play. When you've got your body on your man, you start wearing them down. They start getting a little lazy with their passes, and that was a classic example of it, as when we come out of this timeout with 4:27 to go, Cougar basketball trailing by 1.
Take a look at the upcoming games for Garden City. They'll be at Clarenceville next week, which is where Dearborn is tonight. So Dearborn more than likely will win tonight. So even a win by Garden City will only get them 2nd place with the Pioneers at Clarenceville. Then it's Annapolis here on Friday night next week. Travel to Crestwood. take on Allen Park in a non-conference game. Then it's Etzel Ford, and then it is Wyandotte, and then it's district time. So Garden City still with a chance to come away with the league championship, as you see that big crowd here on the Cominghome, the Cougar Crazies.
Well, when you see that schedule, Dan, it shows you that the importance of tonight's game. If you notice, they've got Annapolis and Clarenceville coming up back-to-back. Those are the two bottom teams in the red division. So this is a huge game for Coach Pummel and these Cougars, and it's coming home Friday night, Garden City, Michigan. Unbelievable action.
Cougars down by a point. Big trip down. Grace Sadowski tried to split the pair. Grace, spin move through traffic. Right side this time. They've been left side all night long. This time he goes to his right.
That spin move, he's going to get a patent on that one, boy. I'll tell you what.
Cougars' first lead of the half. Underneath, off the glass, doesn't fall. Man, Robichaud can't hit a thing in the last 4 minutes.
Well, once again, that physical play can start taking its toll, and it shows up in shots like that, Dan, where you're just kind of feeling and hearing things come at you. This has been that kind of a basketball
Stolen away by Wesley. Another trip down for the Bulldogs, and a reach-in foul on Moyers, his first. Still only Garden City's fifth, so they're still not going to shoot. So Wesley around Moyers, kicked out. Poole for three, and Poole, they were ice cold. But that's a huge basket as Robichaud goes up by 2 again. Tinsley with the pick. And a foul away from the, well, not away from the play, but on Poole.
I don't think you mind that shot, Dan. I think you give that to Poole all day long. He didn't start this game. He came in off the bench. He had 2 points. He was wide open, but he was deep in that three-point line. Right here, action underneath the basket. You can see hot and heavy underneath there.
3 minutes, 13 seconds remaining in this one. And a foul on number 4, Shannon Woods, as he takes out Tinsley.
Well, the officials congregating in right now as they're going to call.
You got to call something.
Everybody's pleading their case, and
that is against Woods.
And the jury says guilty to Woods.
And that's 3 team fouls on Robichaud. More importantly, their team fouls growing. And another foul underneath. This one I think is on Simpson.
Simpson pleading his case to Norm Kozalka, and it's not going to be. And they're bringing everybody together here.
So that's 3 on Simpson, 4 on Robichaud. Now we're having a little powwow to make sure everybody keeps it clean the rest of the way, as play has begun to become what they call chippy, I believe.
Yeah, chippy is being polite.
Well, you got a couple of scrappy basketball teams that want to win here tonight.
Absolutely, and they've let him play up to this
Moyer's
point
got to
right
get it
now.
in, and he does to Sadowski. Sadowski in traffic has his pocket pick. Oh my, Woods all by himself, left side. Woods lays it off the glass. Sadowski just had his pocket pick.
Shannon Woods been quiet tonight till that one right there. That's the thing, you cannot let down against another team like that. Just for a second.
The carry in his Garden City had to get the players where they wanted them offensively. Moyers through the middle. Moyers off the glass. Robbie Moyers, give him 6 this half. Give him 11 in the game. It's a 2-point game again. Robichaud on top.
The Crazies to our right are getting on their feet, Dan. The students are starting to get into this one. We've been into it since the opening tip. This has been one great basketball game, and it promises to have a big finish. Don't go anywhere.
Wesley with the basketball. Poole through the paint, low pass, high off the glass goes for Simpson. Nice pass.
Nice play right there. That was a tremendous pass by Poole underneath there to Simpson on the big finish. It's now a 4-point game with 1:50.
Denzel Tinsley off the window. Tinsley was 6 this quarter. 2-point game again. 1 minute, 42 seconds remaining. Up top, Poole. Lost, Bakarian with the steal. Bakarian up ahead to Grace, but it's stolen away there. Loose ball on the floor. I think Grace is going to get called for the reach-in. Wow, back and forth basketball game.
What a really nice rebound right there. Then he threw it away, Dan.
And that foul is on Grace. That is his third. And Ron Pummel not happy with something. There's plenty there to form an opinion about it, let me tell you. That is only 6 on Garden City. So break for the Cougars. That was only their 6th. I thought it was bonus. So a 2-point game. Robichaud with the basketball. 1 minute, 25 seconds remaining. And as Phil said, the Cougar Crazies on their feet.
Boy, right now this second half has been all the big guys for the Cougars. Robbie Moyers has got 6. Sadowski's done a great job with 5. Tinsley's come in with 6, and then Brandon Grayson, his spin move tonight, patented the spin moves. He's come up with 6 points. Vinny Bakarian right now hit that opening 3, Dan, and he has been shut out since then. So look for something big from Vinny Bakarian right now. The big guys have got to step up for the Cougars. Defense is really important right now, too.
There we are, way up here with the Cougar Crazies. Robichaud with the basketball.
I think some of them are discovering basketball for the first time here, Dan.
Poole on the dribble. Woods. Double team. Robichaud in no hurry. Moyers gets a little more aggressive. Woods reverses. This is Wesley baseline, and a wise foul by Bakarian. So that's his first. That's 7 on Garden City. That was going to be a basket, so at least make him shoot twice to score 2.
Absolutely, and that puts Poole at the line. You know, Poole hit that huge 3-pointer earlier. Now he's at the line, and he sinks the first one.
That's his first free throw of the evening.
There's a lot of time left in this game.
Starks will come back in. Woods will go out, as you see Ron Pummel.
A lot of time. There's no sense in having to rush anything.
2 for 2 for Poole, and Garden City now down by 4. So it's 2 possessions. Moyers reverses. Grace. Hard pass into Bakarian. Bakarian gets it to go off the glass. Vinny Bakarian almost put a little too much on it. Garden City down by a deuce. 39 seconds remaining.
Well, he lost a handle on it for a momentary second, and he allowed the defenders to get up and out of position. Then he calmly went up and sunk it. So nice job by Vinny Bakarian.
Bakarian all over Weatherby. Baseline all by himself off the glass. Oh, and the foul is Starks. Picks up his 4th point of the night. But it'll be and 1 as he is fouled underneath. So Tinsley picks up his 3rd. That's 8 on Garden City. So it's a 4-point game and potentially a 5-point game if he drains this one. And a big basket there. Cougars need some help, down by 5. Moyers, time running out. Moyers will take it inside, the basket won't count. The foul was away from the play. Actually, it's not a bad play for Robichaud.
Oh, that took a lot of time off. All that dribbling really took precious seconds off. Right now, you've got to be looking ahead for the pass and try to get a man open.
They still have 2 more to go to the bonus. So they still have 1 to give. Moyers with 11 seconds left. Doesn't look good for the Cougars. Up top to Sadowski. He needs to shoot it. Triple does not go for Moyers. 5 seconds remaining.
And that's going to go right there. This is going to be a jump ball in the possession arrow.
I think there's a foul.
Go with a foul on the tie-up, huh? Okay. Well, right there's a replay of it. There he is, and well, you know, it's you know.
I don't think it's going to make any difference at this point. A 5-point lead for the Bulldogs. 3.2 seconds remaining. An outstanding effort by Garden City here tonight, but they didn't have enough in the tank to finish off Robichaud here on Cominghome. Six-point lead for the Bulldogs. And make it 7. So that'll do it. Garden City with a great effort here tonight. He'll shoot the 3, and it will go for Moyers. So it'll look a little nicer on the scoreboard as the Cougars lose it 54-50 to Robichaud here on Cominghome. What an entertaining basketball game, Phil Henry.
Absolutely, it was an entertaining basketball game, and I got to say that Jasar Poole for the Bulldogs was really their hero. He sunk that big 3-pointer early in the 4th quarter that really was a dagger, and then he hit those 2 free throws at the end. For 5 points is all he scored, but boy, it was a huge 5 points. And then, of course, the big guy Simpson came alive in the second half, and Garden City just couldn't overcome that. Didn't have enough players getting involved in the scoring part in the second half, Dan, and that's what was their demise.
Yeah, for Garden City, leading scorer unofficially with Robbie Moyers with 12. Grace had 10, Tinsley with 9, 5 for Walter, and 5 for Vinny Bakarian. So the Cougars will fall to 4-4 in the conference. Robichaud will raise their record to 6-2, as will Dearborn more than likely tonight. So the battle for first place in the Western Wayne Athletic Conference will be between Robichaud and the Pioneers. Still a couple of games left, though, here at Garden City High School. So check out schedulestar.com. Check out the school district's website for the schedule and come out and check out a basketball game. That is going to be it from Garden City High School. For Phil Henry and for our producer-director, Christian Gibbons, this is Dan York saying so long from Garden City High School. Again, the final, the Cougars lose to Robichaud 54-50. Thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.